Hello and welcome to Because Bitcoin. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use Google BARD to spot altcoin pumps early using two major indicators in the crypto market. For one, a change in open interest, and two, a change in volume. We can leverage the power of Google BARD to condense this data to make informed investing decisions to find altcoin pumps. But before we dive in, if you're excited about finding altcoin pumps, smash that like button. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. By subscribing, you'll gain access to valuable insights on using AI to become a more profitable crypto investor. First, let's talk about monitoring open interest. Open interest quantifies the total amount of open positions in a market. By monitoring open interest, we can determine which coins are gaining momentum, even before significant price movement occurs. Simply ask Google BARD, what does a change in open interest indicate? And it will tell you that an increase in open interest suggests new money entering the market. This can be a sign of a bullish sentiment, indicating that investors expect prices to rise. Now, there is a website called 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗧, which you can actually go onto and sort by open interest. And the way to do that would be next to the open interest tab, you just hit on the open interest change 24 hours, which is really helpful, but this doesn't tell us specifics about the data. It's simply just a list we want to reorder this based on other variables, and we want the actual CSV or the Excel file of this data. So we can use this to make our own spreadsheets and our own investment models. And the only way to do that is through Google BARD. To track open interest changes more effectively, I recommend visiting Binance's website and using their futures funding history data. So the first thing you want to do is to go on over to the Binance website. It's a website called Binance Futures Funding History Perpetual Trading Data. The link, of course, is going to be in the description. And for this is basically a measure of all the open interest on Binance across a variety of altcoin USDT pairings. We're using Binance because it is the biggest exchange. You can use other exchanges, but obviously the exchange with the more liquidity and the more volume tends to work better for this. This is going to show you the top trader long ratio, which is basically the amounts that traders are going long versus short. But where we're going to start is actually looking at the open interest. So let's go ahead and open up BARD. In order to do that, let's go ahead and go onto Google. Let's type in BARD, and it should be the very first link that pops up right here. And in case you already prompted BARD in the past, you want to make sure you reset the chat every time. Otherwise, previous prompts will be left on there. So that's never a good idea. So we want to make sure you reset that. Now, the very first thing we have to do is head on over to our Binance futures. Make sure to copy that URL at the very top. And then we're going to go ahead and paste that onto the search results, I guess, or the prompt. And then afterwards, we want to actually create a space below that. And we want to input a prompt onto our BARD. It's very important for us to start prompting every single time because it's going to give us more accurate results based on the data that we're trying to input onto there. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my notes here and copy in some of the prompts that I have acquired over here. We're going to go ahead and copy that. And basically the prompt is going to state, go make a table for open interest, long short ratio, funding rate, and add all the data from the above website. So what Google is going to go ahead and do is take the URL and create a table for us. So we're going to go ahead and submit that. And we're going to give that a second for it to start generating this. And this is where it gets pretty cool. So at the time of this recording, which is Monday the 26th, you can see that it gave us an open interest based on the information of the futures data that we got over on Binance. And it gave us a long short ratio, meaning how many people are long, the open interest, which of course Bitcoin is obviously the most highest performing. So of course it's going to give us in that order. So now we can go ahead and prompt this once again, now that we have this information. So we're going to go ahead and paste that. The second thing we actually want to do is ask it if we can find the coins with the highest change in open interest percentage. And we're going to make a table similarly to the one before that. Make sure to copy the data every single time before prompting it. The reason we want to do that is because if we don't, BARD is going to start actually making up data. And so you want to always verify it on top of that to make sure that it is the correct coins. Otherwise, you're going to get some skewed stuff. So again, go ahead and make sure to paste in that Binance Futures URL. And now we're going to go ahead and paste our second prompt here, which should be the one where we say, find the coins with the highest change in open interest percentage and make the table. So now we're going to go ahead and give that a second here. And it should pull out a similar one like the one we did above. But now notice it's actually giving us a little bit of some more different results. And this is where it starts to get actually pretty interesting, right? So we're above, it gave us some major cryptocurrencies. Now it's actually giving us cryptocurrencies or altcoins that have seen major percent changes, meaning there's more open interest in this, and there's more opportunities to start trading, right? And again, if you remember what is open interest, essentially it is the interest for traders to start positioning themselves up for a bullish trade. So once we already have that, we can then go ahead and clarify what time frame this is using, right? Because it depends on what you're doing, right? If you're trying to swing trade this, obviously you're probably looking at somewhat higher time frames, like 24-hour time frames. But if you're trying to do day trades, you obviously want to start minimizing that down to maybe a 1 hour time frame. So we want to go ahead and ask BARD and say, what time frame are we using for this percentage change? And it's going to give us an answer here in a bit. And it's telling us for the 24-hour percentage change for this calculation. So it's saying that we're using the 24-hour. So we want to go ahead and actually change that. So let's go ahead and copy the futures. Once again, we'll go back to BARD here in a sec. And now we want to give it a different time frame. So we'll go ahead and paste this second prompt, right? So after we paste our URL, we'll go ahead and paste that in there. And essentially what we're going to say is find the coins with the highest change in open interest on the 1 hour time frame, right? And of course you can change this to however you would like, right? If you're wanting 15 minutes, 4 hour, that's up to you, right? So these are all interchangeable and flexible to how you would like it. But of course, I'm going to look at the 1 hour time frame percentage and make a table similarly to the one above this right here. So now we should see a little bit of some different results here. So now within a 1 hour change period, we've seen that 𝗫𝗫 has had a 65% change, and open interest, of course, is also fluctuating as well, right? So you can see that overall 𝗫𝗫 is having the most volatility right now. And this would give us a good opportunity for us to pretty much build out a good watch list based on just the open interest and the change in percentage, right? Because most likely there's a lot of volume that's starting to spike in there. So once we do that, we can actually go ahead and start building out our watch list. And of course, you can always just leave this on here. But what's really amazing about this is that Google BARD allows us to start tracking this information and start building out your spreadsheets. And it's really cool because as you can already kind of see right here, we're able to actually export this onto Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. So simply all we have to do to get that information is simply just hit this button right here, and it's going to start creating that spreadsheet for us. And now it's just going to ask us, it's created. So we want to go ahead and open that. And now we have that information that we just asked BARD to do. And so over the course of, let's say, several days, you can start tracking each individual cryptocurrency. And you'll start seeing the open interest, and we start pretty much building out our own models from this. So you can already quickly see how awesome this information is, right? Or you can just wake up every single day and just look at what you want to trade. But I think this would be a really good data right here, so you can start swing trading some cryptocurrency, right? That we're starting to see some open interest in. So as you can see, that already gives us a really good indicator, and you're able to build out a really nice watch list just from this information using just open interest alone. So now that we have open interest table, I want to go ahead and switch gears here. And I want to start looking at the long short ratio, right? If you remember, long short ratio is essentially how many traders are longing a certain crypto and how many traders are shorting one, right? we can look at the ratio to account to see if that coin, right, similar coins are about to peak or if they're just starting to trend upwards, if there's going to be impulse moves in either direction, right? So we can do a lot with that information. And so in order to do that, we again want to copy this information. We'll go ahead and go back to BARD. And let's go ahead and actually reset this chat. So that's another important reason why it's important to save these onto your Excel sheets, because once we reset this, you pretty much won't be able to recover that information. So let's go ahead and reset that now. And we'll go ahead and paste that on over to our BARD. And just like we did before, we're going to start prompting it. And the very first prompt we want to do is this one right here, where it says list the coins with the highest and lowest long to short ratios from the above website. And what that's going to do is basically just give us the ones with the most volatility, or the ones that are peaking in terms of shorts and longs, right? And so now you can see right here, we have BNB. And so with BNB, there's a positive long ratio, long on XRP. And so typically when people are more longing this rather than shorting this, it means that things could potentially peak. Obviously, it's depending on the trades themselves. Sometimes you just want to trade the trend. So again, that's also another thing to note. This information is only going to help you to be part of your arsenal. You should never use this to be all of a certain trade, but you can definitely start looking at this for short, long information, right? So with BNB, at the time of recording, we're seeing that there's a lot of longs here. Now, when we actually switch sides over here to the short ratio, we're seeing XLM actually has some of the highest shorts right now, right? It's towards that 77th percentile. Typically, once it starts actually dropping down towards that 0.2, 0.3, or even 0.5, I'd say, that's typically when there's probably a stacked amount of shorts against those cryptos, right? So as of now, it doesn't really give us a huge indicator of whether these tokens are about to move towards the opposite direction, but it does tell us that there's already longs and shorts building against either of these tokens, right? And so similarly, what we did before, you want to start asking what timeframes we're utilizing here. So we'll go ahead and ask BARD to say, hey, what time frame are we using for these long to short ratio? And like we talked about before, you want to adjust this depending on what kind of a trader you are. If you're trying to do swing trades, you probably want to do more 24-hour timeframes, or even weeklies, depending up to you. But as of now, it's telling us that we're using the 1 hour time frame. So most likely what's probably happening here is that BARD remembers from our previous prompt that we were wanting to stay within that 1 hour time frame. So for us, that's honestly just fine. And so now you can even just ask like BARD itself, right? So BARD, that's what's awesome about these LLMs, right? These LLMs are great not just to garner information or data from these external websites, but also to kind of like consult you a little bit in some of these trades. You can even ask it and say, how do traders use long to short ratio in trading in this instance, right? So let's go ahead and type that out. In this instance, I'm sure I'm spelling that correctly, and we'll wait for it to give us a little prompt here. And so basically it's saying the long to short ratio can be used to gauge the overall sentiment of the market, potential reversals to identify if we're peaking or not, and when to enter or exit trades, of course, right? So by combining open interest data, long short ratio analysis, and AI tools like Google BARD, you can spot potential altcoin pumps and make informed trading decisions. But remember, these tools provide valuable insights, so it's essential to conduct further analysis and consider other factors before making trades. So whether you're a beginner or an experienced trader, incorporating AI tools like Google BARD into your trading routine can be beneficial and help you navigate the cryptocurrency markets more effectively. Remember to always do your own research and analysis, and use these tools as a supplement to your own trading strategies. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next AI video. With that said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Be sure to go check out BecauseBitcoin.com for all things cryptocurrency related news. Every day there are new updates on the cryptocurrency markets, as well as our premium reports over at BecauseBitcoin.com/premium. These are curated by our seasoned analysts for you to stay informed and make informed financial decisions. That is BecauseBitcoin.com/premium.